Hi, this is Toby from LITH-TECH Mobility. So in today's video we're going to be talking about two of the chairs that we've had for nearly 2 3/4 years, so one of our longest running chairs. So on the right we've got our Smart Chair 1 XL and on the left we've got the Smart Chair 1. So the main differences between these two chairs is simply the space between the armrests. So if we grab the tape measure, the standard Smart Chair 1 has 18 and a bit inches between the armrests, which equates to 47 centimetres, and the Smart Chair 1 XL has 21 inches or 53 centimetres. So the type of clientele that would buy the Smart Chair 1 would be someone that just wants a very diverse chair. Smart Chair 1 is one of those chairs that's very good at everything. So it can take your curbs, it can take your cobbles. It's amazing for flying. It's got two 6AH plane safe batteries. It's got incredible range as well. These two 6AH batteries are actually the biggest output in regards to range of any batteries on the market for that category. Obviously these chairs are absolutely identical. The only thing that separates these chairs is this has more space between on the seat and between the armrests. So anything this chair can do, this chair can also do. The only difference is that this chair is built for the larger individual and this chair is built for, you know, your regular sized person. The chair itself weighs 26 kilograms with the batteries, 23 kilograms without batteries, and it can also take a max load of up to 180 kilos, which is roughly about 28 stone. So there's no actual wheelchair in the world, folding electric wheelchair, that can go up to these amounts. So that's why a lot of people, especially with the 1XL, come to us, because there's only 3 chairs in the UK that actually cater to people over about 21 stone. Okay, so for the time being, I'm going to actually put this chair away. Because everything that I can talk about on this chair, I can talk about on this chair. Okay, so first off we're going to show this chair from a side profile. I'm also now going to show you what it looks like when it's folded. So straight away you can see it's nice, sleek, folded, compact design. This is how you would basically have it in a car. You can either have it this way or you can have it down flat in the boot, but straight away you can see how little room it would actually take up. So I'm just going to lock off the motors and show you the folding and unfolding. So there's 2 ways to fold this chair and unfold it. First way is to open up the footrest, reverse your hands and push away from each other. That will unfold the chair. To fold the chair, you simply just release this catch at the back, which when it folds, it snaps shut and locks into place, so you don't even have to do up any catch. So I'll just push that forward. Now forget about this hand for the time being. I bring this hand up, which then allows the wheelchair to pivot on its back wheels, and simply bring my hands together. Literally that simple. Another way of unfolding this chair is to put the footrest out, stand behind the chair, and just flick your wrist out. And let gravity do its thing. Same again. I use my left hand to bring the chair up to a middle position, and then I bring my hands together. The reason why I'm not doing anything with this hand particularly, so I'm bringing this hand together, is because I can try and fold it from here, but what I'm doing now is I'm pushing down on the chair. If I bring it up to a central position, the weight is right behind me, so it's much easier to bring my hands together. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this chair from front to back now. At the back here, you've got your motors. These are two 250 watt motors. They're brushless. They're the most reliable motors you can currently get on the market right now. Inbuilt, you've also got some electromagnetic brakes, which allow you to stop instantly on hills, down slopes, the minute you take your hand off the joystick. Okay, so attached to these, you've got your toggles. So this engages and disengages the motors. The good thing about electromagnetic brakes, brushless motors, it means the better quality of the motor, as a general rule of thumb, means the more free running the wheels will be, which is great for when people are either trying to use the chair as a stroller. So you can use this chair as a bit of stroller to get a bit of fitness, and then when you're tired, you can simply switch it over to electric mode, sit in it and operate it from the joystick. But it also means it's very easy to be pushed in as well. So someone can push you along, no problem at all. And it also means that when you're around the house, rather than lifting the wheelchair like you would have to do back in the day to get it outside to the car, now instead you simply push the wheelchair around by its legs or hold the footplate out untow it behind you like a suitcase. So I'm going to come on to the batteries now. At the front we've got 2x6Ah batteries. Like I said before, they're completely plane safe on any airline in the world now. As I've talked about in other blog posts and videos, there's very few batteries now that are actually plane safe on any airline in the whole world, and 6Ah are basically the only plane safe, the maximum plane safe allowed wattage and output. Anything over 10Ah are allowed on certain airlines, and if you have anything over 10Ah, you're basically screwed. And anyone that says that their batteries are plane safe, they're lying through their teeth. So to release these batteries, so I want to take the right hand battery out. I put my right hand around the right face of the battery. I use my left thumb to push this tab here to make it go flush. On the reverse process, I'm pushing the battery in, and this little tab is catching on the lip of here, which is going to hold it in place. I'll come a bit closer so you can see. So you've got your tab here. So I'd pull out with my right hand whilst pushing on this tab with my thumb to release it. Also on this battery, you've got a blue button you can press in. This will tell you exactly how much charge each battery has. It also has a charging point, so you can charge your battery off the chair. Okay, to pop the battery back in, you simply slide it in till you hear a click. So the good thing about these wheels, as you can see, they're 12.5 inch, they're big, they're rubber, they're completely puncture proof, they're solid. They've also got kind of like a spongy inner layer, which means when you're going over cobbles, bumps, curbs, just generally rougher terrain or grass, it makes for a much smoother ride. Your front tyres on the front are 7.5 inch PU tyres. PU is basically kind of like a rubbery, plasticky kind of composite, which most wheelchairs tend to use front and rear. The good thing about us is we use rubber tyres on the rear for the Smart Chair 1, Smart Chair 1 XL and RX. It basically gives you much more grip and is much safer ride in general. Okay, so when the joystick's not being used, when it's about to go into a car or something like that, folded and put in a car, it's kept under here. So simply pull the joystick out, we bring it out from its little bag. There's a space in the end of the armrest for it to attach. It gets pushed in, and then on here, I'll try and turn it around so you can see better. You've got a white arrow on the joystick lead and a white arrow on the controller lead. You simply match the arrows up, push in and twist the centre piece, which then creates a secure connection. Underneath, you've got a little pin here. This can be twisted, and so if you've got a longer reach, it can be extended, or if you've got a shorter reach, it can be pushed in. And then you simply just twist that to secure it. Okay, so on the joystick itself, you've got 5 buttons. On the top right, you've got a green button. This is your on button. On the bottom right, you've got your red button. It's an off button. In the middle, you've got your horn. So if you're in a shopping centre or you ever need someone to let you know you're behind them or for them to move out the way, just sound your horn and people will respond. On the left-hand side, you've got your speed bar. So minus obviously means you're going to go slower, and if you press the plus button, it means you're going to increase speed. Rule of thumb in regards to speeds and things, on a flat surface, you want to be in about level 2, 3. If you're going up hills always want to be in level 4 or 5 to help you have momentum to get up a hill. And if you're ever going down a hill, always be in level 1. It's a bit like car gears, it will just slow you down, keep you more controlled. The last thing you want to be doing is being in level 5, going down a hill and you catch a bit of grit or something like that and you start sliding. On the right hand side, in between the on and off button, you've also got a little battery bar sign. This will show you exactly how much battery your chair has. What it does, it will take an average of both these batteries and show you on the battery sign. So when you're using power, and for example, using the joystick, it's going to drain power equally from both batteries. But what it also means is when you're charging through the joystick, it's then charging both batteries equally as well. So the best way of using this chair and charging this chair is drain the battery till it's about 90% drained, and then put it on just before you go to bed through the joystick, and take it off first thing in the morning, just like you would if it was your mobile phone. The other way of charging the batteries up, obviously, is there's a little battery adapter, charger adapter, which is kept under here, which will come with your chair, and you can simply, like I was speaking about earlier, just plug straight in to the battery itself. When this would become useful would be when, say you're on holiday and you're only allowed to keep your wheelchair in the lobby, for example. You would simply take the batteries out of the chair, take it up to your hotel room in the evening, and you'd plug the batteries, charge the batteries up overnight. Some other people like to keep their chairs in the back of their car or their 4x4, and simply take the batteries out then to charge inside. So there's lots of different options to make your life as easy as possible. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sit in the chair, and actually I'll tell you what, I'm going to show you the three easiest ways to sit getting in and out of a chair. The first way is, if your mobility is not too bad, would simply be to step your foot either side of the foot plate, find your armrest and sit down. Lastly, bring your legs on. The second way is to put the foot plate up first. This then allows you to get a little bit closer to the chair. Find your armrest again, bring the foot plate down secondly. And last but not least, and this is quite often the way that a lot of people like to get in the chair. So all of our chairs' armrests come all the way up. And this is great, not only for getting in and out the chair, but for also getting right underneath tables for eating, drinking, working, whatever. So to get in from the side view, you'd simply find the back of your legs against the cushion, find the right hand armrest, sit down, bring your legs across, and your arm press would follow lastly, and just lock it off just for safety. So, like I spoke to you before, this chair's got electromagnetic brakes. What that means is the minute I take my hand off the joystick, you'll hear a click, which is the motors disengaging, and I'll stop dead. So I'll just get a bit of a run up. So if I come towards you now, take my hand off, I'll stop and you'll hear a click, and that's your motors stopping. So whether you're on an up slope, a down slope, or on the flat, the minute you take your hand off the joystick, you're going to stop instantly, and it's incredibly safe. This chair's got an excellent turning circle. It can spin on its own axis, okay, very, very easily. And not only can it spin on its own axis, go right, left, I can also go in any direction. So I can go back, forward, any direction I put the joystick, the chair is going to spin in. So it's amazing for operating and controlling the chair around the home in narrow spaces, whether you're in pubs, restaurants, places where there isn't a lot of space. This chair is really comes into its own. Another thing that this chair would be amazing at is if you're going out to, say, London for the day, you're going to be coming across things like curbs and rougher terrain. You're going to be coming across cobbles, things like that. So these oversized rear tyres will literally eat those up for breakfast, compared to wheelchairs that come naturally with smaller tyres. So last but not least, I'm just going to show you the easiest ways to lift these chairs. So this chair, in this particular chair, folds up without the cushion. The reason being, we want to make it as narrow as possible, which means anything that's smaller and narrower makes it much easier to lift. If you ever want to lift the chair just upright, you'll simply grab from the legs and lift up. And if you ever want to lift the chair into a car, for example, you simply unlock the wheels, which allows it to be in push mode, grab one hand under the foot plate, bend your knees, lift from the back, and then all you have to do, pretend this line here is my boot. Once you've got the rear wheels onto the lip of your car, simply just push in, twist, lock your motors off, and then that will then stop the wheelchair from moving around the back of your car. So, if you're looking for a wheelchair which is really diverse, incredibly easy to manoeuvre, is liftable, whether you're using a two-man lift, a one-man lift, or you have to use ramps, also that can be plane safe on any airline in the whole world, that can tackle cobbles, your curbs, this is probably the wheelchair for you. Plus it's incredibly easy to use. It can fold and unfold in 2 seconds. And if there's any chair that I'd ever recommend to our customers, if they came to me with 10 different people called me up, they all had different disabilities, and I had to sell them a chair over the phone which I thought would suit their disabilities, I would always go for the Smart Chair 1, because we've been selling it the longest. It's so reliable, and just the shape and the ease of use, it just suits so many people's disabilities. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video and I look forward to speaking to you on the next one.